Good morning, the former Prime Minister. My dear in-laws. Ukoromi. Jaikom Kenan. Asante Asane. Thank you very much. You all know Professor Magoha as an adult, as a professor, a full, hard-working man. I knew Professor Magoha as a young man in the medical school. So like I used to tell him, a teacher was once a student. I was 3 years his senior. So the iron that you have seen today was forged in Nigeria, exactly in the College of Medicine of the University of Lagos. These are the features I saw of him. A hard-working young man, very sincere, extremely sincere. He worked very hard, and with him he had his siblings, Joe and Pauline. He came into our family, and let me use the word kindly. He applied to join our family. We are all families of doctors. My father was a doctor. 4 of my siblings are doctors. 3 of my children are doctors. So when he applied, we had to vet it very seriously. And when you see that we accepted him, you can see the product. You see the finished product. You see what he did to Kenya. God be praised. I didn't know that he will have a shorter life. He could have done more. But it appeared that hurry was because he had a lot to do. And he needed time to do it. He didn't have the time to finish what he wanted to do. But I thank God that whatever he did, he brought peace and joy. He was straightforward. He could step on anybody's toes. But you couldn't doubt one thing. He was very sincere. Please, George, rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are almost reaching the end. Presiding priest, I like to just make a small explanation. I'm going to call upon the governor of Siaya to speak. But before I do that, before I call the governor of Siaya to speak, I'd like to call a person who you don't know is a relative actually in this home. Among us, the Luos, I did surprise the president that Professor Magoha was my cousin, and we kept it a secret because otherwise maybe we would have considered twice having cousins sitting in the same cabinet. But you may not be aware, but Ida Odinga is also related to the home. You've heard about Mama Elizabeth, who is 100 years old. Sister to Mama Elizabeth is Pauline Anyango. That is where Pauline Dola, she's actually Pauline Anyango Dola, gets her name from. And Pauline's daughter, which is an auntie to Professor Magoha, Pauline's daughter, Noela, is here. I don't know if Raymond is also here. Noela, would you please stand up if you are anywhere so we can acknowledge you? Yeah, that's Noela Oyo. And she's first cousin to Professor Magoha. She happens to be married to Ida Odinga's elder brother. You see how these things get mixed up? Yeah? And that's why I always tell my Luo brothers, don't hit somebody else. Don't be mean to somebody because you don't know where you're going to meet. You'll get very ashamed. Right? So, Madam Ida, if you'd like to come and say something, and I would like Noela, with your permission, can we also ask you just to stand so that we acknowledge you? Noela.